Technical SEO tips. Hello and welcome back again. Let's get right into it and let's see how we can better improve our website. As I've shown you in the SEO tools video session, this particular tool will actually check for broken links, so therefore you should 100% utilize a method to check for broken links on your website, because Google really dislikes broken links, and our job as website owners and website optimizers, we want to make sure that Google can actually crawl our website, and when it does, it doesn't face any errors and so on. Okay, so broken links, triple check your broken links. If you find any, fix them. So what else can we do? We should strongly consider using HTML5. Okay, although it may not be a Google ranking factor, HTML5 will allow you to create better website structure, because as you can see, we've got new web page elements in HTML5. Okay, but once again, although it's not a necessity for ranking, nonetheless, you want to think long term. Why not utilize it and stay up to date? Okay. Now, with your hyperlinks, what you can do is you can create a title attribute, okay, to further give information relating to the link that you have, particularly in your own navigation structure. Okay, so from the front end it may look like this, but because we can include title attributes, then why don't we do that? So I strongly encourage you to utilize it. Also, it is actually not necessary, meaning you may use relative URL, or you may give the absolute path for your links within your site, right? Either way, just stick to one of them. It makes no difference which one, but it is much more efficient to utilize the one version and stick to that. Okay, so that's important as well. Now, the robots.txt file, we know it's important. That's why I've created a video session showing you how to do just that. Nonetheless, we need to have it to make Google's crawling easier. Also, whichever version of your domain that you want to use, simply stick to that and only use one version. As in, if you are using the one with www portion of it, then use that and redirect the other one to that one, or vice versa. Okay, and also your internal links then must stick to the version that you're using. I've got the video session showing you how to do that redirection. Now, sitemaps are important. We know this, okay, especially if you're creating your landing pages consistently, meaning you update your website, you have new landing pages. Sitemaps are a great way to let Google quickly understand the URL structure of your entire website. So therefore, you need to utilize it. And robots.txt file, sitemap, as we can see, okay, and htaccess, they all go in the root folder of your website. Now, I have video tutorial sessions which shows you how to create sitemaps. So therefore, in this training course, I'm not gonna create a video session showing you how to do that, because I've just taken few different keywords and landing pages. So therefore, it matters not how big your website is. You need to have a sitemap. Whether you're using content management systems, you'll have many plugins that allow you to create a sitemap, dynamically perhaps. Okay, so either way, for us to utilize Google Webmaster Tools, we need to add a sitemap and verify our website as well. So you can simply search Google to find sitemap generators, which will actually create the sitemap for you if your website is live online. So therefore, what else can we do? Although not necessary, okay, you can validate your website against W3 standards. Okay, so simply utilize it, but remember, oftentimes it is very difficult to get W3 to validate your website. Reason being, the standards can be quite intense. So therefore, you can work towards validating your website, but just remember, Google in fact does not consider the validation of a HTML document as a signal. They have video tutorials in YouTube that actually explains that, and also they say that 90% of the websites they come across is actually not validated, so therefore they considered not using it as a ranking signal. But what is very important is the fact that your website should render well, as in display well, in all the major browsers. You can check your log files to find out, which browser that your ideal customer is using when they come to your website. Nonetheless, whether it's Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, okay, you can download all these if you want and just open your web page to see if all is okay. Okay, and because we know that Google's trying to mimic the actual visitor to your website, so therefore it can work things out. And if your site surely doesn't render well, then the bounce rate of your website will increase, so it will be a terrible user experience. And at the end of the day, we know that we want to create our landing pages for people. Okay, so utilize the markup validation service of W3, but just keep in mind, if you find a lot of errors, some of them you may not be able to fix. Okay, if that's the case, just make sure that your website renders well in major browsers. Now, page speed is a help for webmasters. Okay, it's made by Google. Basically, you can utilize it to see, how your website loads, as in the timing of it. Okay, just remember, you're not going to be able to have a lightning speed loading web pages. Okay, it will depend on your online industry. That is why we've utilized customer profiling. Okay, reason being, when you do that, you actually know where your target audience is located, and doing so may give you insights as to in Australia, in major cities, if my target audience lives in the city of Melbourne, then I know that their internet connection speed is reasonable, right? But what if my target audience was perhaps farmers in the country? And we know as Australians that internet speed connection for the country citizens, okay, citizens live in the countryside of Australia, we know that they actually have terrible connection speeds, right? So if that's the case, then fast loading landing pages then become very important, and then you can further dive into it to reduce your image sizes, perhaps reevaluate the necessity elements of your web pages and so on. Okay, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is the methods that this particular tool makes available can be quite intense, and you kind of need to learn a lot of different aspects of SEO and HTML and so on. Okay, so nonetheless, make sure that your website and landing pages load in reasonable amount of time. Okay, so now one more thing before we close up is custom error pages. Okay, they provide a better user experience. Okay, and Google Webmaster Guidelines actually suggest to us to create one. Okay, so therefore utilize 404 page not found pages. Okay, easy to create. If you're using content management systems, there are great plugins where you can simply plug the plugin and create custom 404 pages for your visitors. I thank you very much for learning with me. Let's continue learning, because in the next video session I'm going to show you how to properly optimize your images. And for me to do that, I'll talk to you in the next video session.